Hi everyone, Heather Hartwick Gladden here with another Zentangle Quickie. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at Casella. This is by Connie Hossapel. I know I'm mispronouncing that. It'll be in the step outs. It's on the step outs. I like to always make sure to give credit to the person that created the tangle. Because not all Zentangles have come from the people at Zentangle Inc. This is a really cool one. All right, without further ado, this is a dot grid. And what I'm using today, I'm using a PN pen on a 2x2 bijou tile. And going to start here with, like I said, it is a dot grid. I mean, in the literal dot grid. And I'm going to do my very best here. I'm going to see if I can make mine straight. A lot of times, I'll tell you. And I like to start in the middle. It's just going to apparently end up wonky no matter what. But that's okay. I like this one personally a little bit closer together. In my step out, I did it rather large, and I don't know why. I wasn't really happy with that, but that's okay. All right, it's a little off center, but that's okay. We're going to leave it at this grid right here. Now, this one, it's not really tricky, but I know when I taught this on a live class, either I didn't explain it right or something. So this one, so we're going to connect 4 dots, but there's a little caveat. So I'm going to connect this first 4. I'm going to connect those dots with a line, right? Making a box. All right, then I'm going to connect the next 4 group of dots. I can see them. All right. Now, and I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this open over here for now. The next, so this is row 1. The next row, we are going to offset that. So we're not going to start here where we'd have a column as well. We're going to start here so that way it's kind of offset. And then continuing. And if you get your dot grid a little bit off, like I totally didn't do that dot, and I thought about that, and I was like, I don't have to follow those dots. And let's see. Oh well. Let's see. I think I can continue this down here. And then, if you do another row, it's going to be the same thing where we're going to copy this one. So it'll be offset from the row above it. I'm wanting to skip dots, but not. And then I'm going to actually, then I want to also, we'll put some dots in here. Now this one, I'm just going to draw, this would be this part of the box. That's what it will be. Here we would then continue. That would just be a straight line. This one would then continue. Okay. Next step is I'll show it here. So then we're going to draw some diagonal lines. And actually, I think I am coming off to the. How am I coming off here? I had to switch devices. I think I'm coming off to the side. We'll see. I think you'll still get it. All right. So looking at this box, we're gonna draw a diagonal line to the box underneath it, and this one has a number of things. Even though these are all straight lines, just the way we do them, we just have to be careful and kind of watch the instructions. It does turn out rather neat though. So this is essentially going to be like a slide. So I'm going from the bottom corners of this box to the bottom corners of this box. Just with straight lines. Okay, and then we're continuing that. So from this, it's easy once you get the first one. And then this one, because it's a partial, would just go like this, and then that little guy would go like this. And, whoops. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm just drawing what would be. There we go. And that's how I end up with dots all over my little page. Okay, then, and we're going to continue that. So from this box, we're always kind of going to, this would be my right. Going to the box to the right. So if I have if my camera is goofed up, just, yeah, listen to the directions and check the step outs. So we kind of have like this kind of weird slide. And actually then this one, yeah, would come to this. This is going out into no person's land. All right. And this would also be sliding up here. All right. Next. Slides going the other way. So this let's see. I said the last one was tricky. This one is also tricky. Let me start in this middle box here. So we have our slide going to the right. We're gonna do one going to the left, but it's a partial one. So we're going from this bottom left corner to the center of the slide before it, like that. And then in this bottom box, this is where I ran into trouble before. So we're gonna aura that essentially from this corner on up. That might be just the easiest way to say it. But I'm going to the middle of these slides here. So from this corner to the middle of this slide, and then traveling down to that corner, and essentially auraing this this line right here, but we're making a diagonal back up to the slide, but again into the middle, because it seems like that was the one thing when I was first doing this that really helped. So again, corner to the middle. It also helps to protect, if your grid kind of went awry, then this kind of protects against, anything that looked weird, because you're going from here to the middle, and it should kind of somewhat adjust. All right, so let's see, what have I got here? I need to, actually, since I've kind of drawn this out, I need to finish. I'm going to end up having to, because it just goes on and on. I'm going to actually, I'm going to pretend that those are there. That's going to bother me until I do them, but I want to make sure that I get to showing you all of this here. All right. So that is essentially, the structure part. Now, so those original boxes that we started with, we're going to draw just some straight lines. And I just, like to draw them just evenly, straight down. This is kind of like adding some texture to the pattern. And I'll tell you, it's really bothering. I might have to just stop and do those to get these continued off the top. All right. Oops, I've kind of gone a little past, but oh well. And then you have your other row here, right? So on all of those original boxes, and actually really they're the only square boxes you should have, unless, of course, your grid went whimsical like mine usually do. And for those that don't know, whimsical is the new wonky. That's what we're calling it. So that could continue there. Oops, that could continue there. Oops, I see, and I'm rushing here because I want to make these quick, but I also want to make them good. And see how my lines kind of went all, yeah, whimsical, yeah. That's going to go down there, and that's going to go down there. Okay. So once you have your lines in all of your original boxes, then on these little slides that are going off to the left, this one, we're going to basically kind of put a crosshatch. And the way I found easy to do is same thing. We're auraing this line, so we're going to draw straight lines this way. And then turn your tile and have your straight lines going the other way. And it kind of makes for a nice little crisscross. And I will try to remember to make sure to put the picture that they had on this one. And sometimes I'll do this, one stroke going one way and continue that throughout the pattern, and then go back, and finish it. Just because sometimes that's what I like to do. And I tell you that so that way if you end up doing something like that, it's okay. And I found that it helps to just focus on auraing, that line. So that way, it's not just, drawing, crisscrosses or a, very, very small, kind of like weavy pattern. All right. Oops. And we'll get this one over here. All right. It's still on the large side for me, but that's okay. Then you can actually see it. And yes, and this is really bugging me. Sorry. And I know that you all understand. Okay, so then this would kind of go up to the half, and this one, and then probably there, and probably there. And let's just get that. So if we're going to do the whole thing, let's just do the whole thing. And again, I just find it easy to focus on essentially auraing that one side and then auraing another side, and then it looks cool. All right, so we have it there. I'm still finding little places. And yes, and normally when I tangle, this is what I do. I drive myself crazy because it's like if we're gonna have it, off the page, then we're gonna have it off the page. And then this would also have a here. And this is where, if you like to do this kind of thing, it just, I like to get the full pattern down so that way you just you can go back also and look at the whole pattern and say, oh, now wait, is that there or is it, and have it be more accurate. Okay, now I feel better. Thanks for waiting. And the last step in this is in these big kind of oblong hexagon shapes is just to put some dots. Just to freckle it all up. However you like. And for whatever reason, and if you go over your stuff like I do here, sometimes you can kind of go back, and you might have to, if you go back and touch something up, you might have to, do the same thing in other areas so that way it looks uniform, so you don't want to have one big thick line here and nowhere else. And let's see, oh, there would be some, up there. And that, my friends, is Casella. I don't remember on there that there were necessarily he offered any, or he or she, because it's spelled C-O-N-N-Y, so I'm not sure. But if they didn't have any shading ideas, but here's some things that you could do, because it kind of has shading already with having just plain, some speckled, what do they call it, stippling, some straight lines, and then like hash marks. That brings in shading kind of all by itself. And one of the things that you could do, you could go through and shade, and we'll just do this because I think it'd be fun, and I believe this is how I have done it before. Usually I've just left it and just, you know, let it sit on its own when I have done it before. But so this, I'm just adding some into the middle of these cool elongated, oops, hexagonal shapes. Oh, that's a new one. We don't want to do that. It's either a new one or I use it for white. You can never tell. But just adding something, you know, kind of adds just a little extra dimension. Oh, I forgot that one there, where my finger was. We'll come back for that. And you can see how that just, I don't know, it just spruces it up a little bit. Adds a little extra something. Oh, there too. And it's just kind of neat, just, you know, to do it, leaving that center kind of open. And then using what's left on my tortillon. Yeah, it just adds a little something. And anyway, it is a really neat tangle, and so if you can imagine it, you know, even in a tighter, smaller space, it turns out really neat. Actually, it looks neat large, but I personally like it even smaller than that. But then that's just me. So, but anyway, it's a fun tangle. It you know, once you get the hang of it, it's okay. Sometimes describing some of these things makes it a little bit difficult. Just to get the right picture, so that way it all ends up, you know, looking like this. So hope you enjoyed, and we will hopefully see you on another Tangle Quickie. Make sure if you enjoyed the video, or even if you had challenges or questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm doing my best to answer and reply to things in the comment section, and also in the description will be a link to the step outs and other information for more tangling and connecting and all that kind of thing. All right, thanks and happy tangling.